me, mauling me, so, rubbing him, like, laying literally across my face. So, excuse me a minute. He managed to jump off before I went live. So, we're on September. So, I think of September as a whole new cycle because you've got the new term, we'll have new classes. It's like colleges are going back to, kids are going back to school, colleges going back to school. We've had the summer where lots of people take time off, including myself. And this is like a reset or a chance for a reset. Yeah, a brilliant time to do that. So before we even read the cards, that's kind of the energy that's around that time. For lots of us, it's like a second new year, if you like. And if you're following the Egyptian calendar, the Atlantean calendar, which is in August, their new year, so you've kind of at the beginning of that new year energy anyway. The cards that we've got the horse. Actually, I've put pages by them. The fire horse, which is this one, energy of movement and change. The sun, related to the sun and galactic energy. We got the card of letting go, and waterfall. This is kind of also number 44, which is Adam Karam number. And the dragon card that we have is air and fire. So I'm going to start by going and reading what's said, and then add what I've got to add as well. So let's start with me. So the horse, to me, a couple of things it indicates from my my fortune pack that always reminds me whenever I see the horse energy now. It's movement, change, it's things being stirred up, but it's movement in a good way. It's sometimes movement and things starting to happen after a long period of waiting. It can also represent a legal, like solicitor, giving a helping hand. So bearing in mind these cards are for the collective. Oh, Alexa, can you turn on the dining room light 100%, please? It's a bit dark in here. Alexa, thank you.
Anytime.
You're welcome. A fire horse is effortless vitality. So it's maybe that picking up of energy. And I feel as though, myself included, lots of light workers I know are dealing with physical things, even though they're like Reiki healers, and you'd be thinking, I kind of can hear my partner going, well, you're meant to be all of this like healthy thing, but you're always sick kind of vibe going on. And that kind of feels or encompasses the energy of what I've been seeing happening in the lightworker groups of people I know. Lots of them are getting sick, lots of stuff going on, lots of emotional healing. But I think what's happening is we're leveling up. So the set point, I've spoken about this before, the set point of the high energy has elevated. So therefore the density, where before you might have been flowing really nicely, now that's up there. To get to that flowing point, you have to raise your frequency a little bit, you have to raise your consciousness and allow the density of the body to level up in itself. And that's what I feel is happening, and has happened in this first part of the year with lots of light workers. Come September, this is where the energy's coming back. This is where you've done that physical detoxification over the last 6 months and the first half of the year. You've moved through that. So 7 months now, I think, because we start, was it 5 months? No, yeah, it would be 6 months. We've started in February, didn't we? So how now classes are happening again. Maybe you're doing your regular exercising again. Maybe you've just got that leash of life and vitality, and you feel like you can run just like you see the horse. And imagine a horse like running along the shore of the water and feeling the wind in your hair. It's that kind of freedom, sense of freedom energy related to the sun, and the sun is what's doing it. So I talk a lot about how what I call the goblet effect has been happening with us. The rainbow bridge of consciousness Matthias refers to, what I feel of the bridges is the bridge of the hippocampus, and how the different colour frequencies of consciousness, of energy, is now seeping into our actual being, and how we can access through these tiny little crystals that are being activated with the solar energy, radiation. It's evolving us and allowing us what's on an energetic or physical level, that the light is going into the crystals of the brain and allowing us to see the prism of light that's there, that we may not have been able to see before. So I've been talking about this for the last year, but the sun is shining. The clouds, our thoughts, our feelings, our attachments, may be those thought forms that has been enlightened for the way we see it. So the right and left brain hemispheres, the masculine, the feminine, is balancing more within us because we're able to see things differently. And I spoke to someone at the weekend on the time that I'm actually recording this live, what is it now? We're still February. And not a spiritual person at all, but was talking about how he wishes there was more groups for men. Like he said, there was a walking group, and he said, I don't really want to go walking. He said, women do this thing where they can go to a coffee shop and like they can meet up and just have this interaction. And there's one group I found that does this. He said there was another group, and all they were doing, they were like, oh, we're going to be manly, we're going to express our masculinity, and we're going to dive in the cold water, we're going to scream like men, that primal groups like that. He said, and that's not me either. I thought, all right, fair enough. And I see this, and I thought, you are a perfect example of what is going to happen with men that want to be in touch with this community connectiveness, but they don't want to do it. Oh, hang on, my fireplace thing has just finished, so let me go back. Is there another one? Sorry, I had up on the background on the TV, which is in front of me, fireplace. Should we have rustic cabin fireplace? Let's have that one. What's that? How long was that? An hour. Yeah, I'm going to play that one. Here we go. So excuse me. It's just quite nice to hear the crackling fire place. I'll see if I can swing it around in a second. But yeah, effortless vitality but this viridity, vitality, the masculine energy, and expressing that with connective community. And I see that as a theme. So horse, what does she say about this card? So me just sort of elaborating on that. I think that that's going to be one of the things that the offering, the helping hand, this masculine energy, as there's more call for the divine masculine will step up. It will show up in different ways. Like I can see to my friend who's not spiritual at all, it's showing up in his desire to want to connect with other men, like women do in their women's groups, who have this sense of community, have this sense of spirit, but that it's not about, we're going to go and insert our masculinity and dive into cold water plunges like some of the groups that are there for people to connect to that masculine side, but to the other side in balance with the feminine, the wanting to commune and connect and nurture through communication. So I wonder what he'd say if he heard this. I've just said it to him. He might laugh. Anyway, strong fire element is related to the fire horse. Dominates the fire horse pillar. Bright, lively and vibrant yang fire loves unconditionally and gives generously. The jovial horse, also a yang fire sign, as a peach blossom star in social, fun, loving and blessed, with charisma and a warm heart that naturally makes it the centre of attention. All this fire can lead to nervous energy and restlessness in its negative form, however, especially after sundown. Fortunately, there's hidden yin earth inside the horse to help calm the excess fire, which can be associated in times of silence and solitude. So you see the contrasting energies that it's referring to. That's the card that we've got there for September. There's this contrast of excitement, coupled with these pockets of stillness. And as we write the report for that month, I'm sure that will come through. I feel that what I'm even feeling now is that in the first 2 weeks, that will be kind of like kids going back to school. There's lots of like events happening and stuff you've got on your calendar, and it's busy, busy, busy. But there'll be moments where you need to allow that yang horse energy, that moment of calm. Got the house back to myself is the way I'm feeling with, if you resonate with the mummies out there. So the card is an enthusiastic message from the divine telling you that you're on fire. You're being noticed for positive and passion and for what you do. Stay focused on what brings you happiness and let the inner joy that has inspired many others to be fueled to living your purpose. This universe will always reward your light and generosity with more abundance and a continuous supply of energy. Manage that precious gift, burn off excess energy with physical activities and that restless feeling. So and I'm feeling this is a sense of, this might relate to a lot of people, shout if it does. Some people might not have been able to go away this summer, for example. So there's a sense of you had the summer, but you didn't maybe take your trips away, and there's this sense of I need to get away. I'm restless in what is it I'm really doing with my life. That kind of, where's my purpose? Want to go away and take time to reset, to refuel, but you haven't quite done that come September. Maybe you have, but you're still feeling that way, like, oh, I went away, but I still feel like I need another holiday. That kind of happening with the people around on a very real level. But slowing down, resting now, and recharging and recentering is really important. So that will help with that restless energy, that need to fuel that kind of energy. Sorry, I'm feeling into it. The fire horse pillar often appears in a reading meant to shake the fire within you. It's meant to stick a rocket up your shall we say, to encourage you to follow your excitement and stoke the fire within you. Your cauldron needs to be stirred a little bit. So in September in class, we can do some stirring the cauldron, microcosmic orbit, building that energy so that we can cultivating, visualizing into crystal so that we can use it for manifestation, and opening the doors and leading you to even higher purpose. So embrace what you love and say yes to the new experiences to discover more joys, because they may lead you to your highest purpose. So the message from heaven with this card is check in often with the heart for the state of light within. Where are you feeling that? Where is that light going through? Is it going in through the wounds? Is it showing up in how we're being triggered and fired up, if you see what I mean? And look to why you're being fired up. The source of inner joy is where we want it to be. What warms the heart and keeps the inner fires burning. What are you passionate about? One of my favourite quotes, Joseph Campbell, follow your bliss. Where is your bliss at? This month of September. And message from Earth, the horse is a sign of vitality associated with the sun. Harmonizing your energy with sunlight, be most active during the day and start winding down just before sundown. Cadence rhythms, your circadian rhythms, being in tune with when the sun comes up. Obviously you've had the peak of the summer where we've had really long late start. It slowly started to then get darker at night, so the light is starting to change. So be up, be active when the light is there, when we've got those lates, especially when we're having warmer later summers here in the UK. Be active during that time. And then when it starts to go down, be aware. And I would also add practices where you are doing your practice when the sun is coming up, or doing your practice when the sun is coming down. So any kind of form of meditation, any connection with those twilight and dusk hours would be good in September. Vitamin D, really important. So feeling the sun, visualizing light. So we're a month for meditation, for our meditation for this month, definitely connecting with Solaris and that central sun energy in your central column. Right. Yeah. And making sure that you're not staying up late finishing stuff because you've got that restless energy. You need it to be, you need it to be feeling, so big hands up and cleansing breaths with triple warmer sound. Great to do before bed. Doesn't take much room. I'm sitting here. Okay, I'm sitting down. You're not standing up. You could do it standing up. Simple thing and a practice to do to help with wind down before bedtime. I put that in the wrong one. That's not. It's cool. You're doing these recordings kind of semi back to back. So letting go. Letting go. So this one's from Wisdoms of Avalon Oracle Cards by Colette Baron Reid. 44, again, straight away, that number is Adam Kadam. So you can Google the meaning of 44, so I won't go too much into that, but being in your power. Now we've got this fire activation of the sun, and then this card, this card, you've got waterfall there going, flowing, it's flow. To let go is flow. There's a whole book actually, and I highly recommend this, by Dr. David Hawkins on simply on letting go and the power of letting go. So realizing attachments, expectations and desires yet unfulfilled. These are some of the aspects of this card. When you receive this marker on your path in September, you've required to relinquish control and allow the mystery to act as she will, to weave life together as is meant to be, according to the laws of the cosmos. You cannot force something to come or to remain. If its true place is elsewhere, remember that what is yours can never be taken away. Allowing is the key to this marker, for what is yours will come to you. The same applies to the past. This is the time to let go of old hurts, resentments, and unresolved anger, for they're no longer welcome burdens on the path ahead. Old and outmodelled ideas about life, how you see others, who you are, based on who you were, they must also be left behind. Then you can move forward, unseen, unencumbered, stepping into the magic of the new, present that leads into the best possible future. So one of the things I see about this is the key to letting go and being in our flow is it's literally about going with the flow. We've been spending the year, hopefully up until this point, so from February, March, April, May, June, July and August now, you've worked with feeling into your natural abilities, your skills, if you like, or remembered abilities is more clear. I would say is more representation of what I mean, of our ancestral heritage. Our abilities are starting to come out. We're starting to practice innately connecting with others. Like I was saying, whether we realize it or not, my friend's desire to want to connect and meet in groups with other men, to me was a perfect example of that, of someone that's not necessarily into any spirituality or like self-improvement, not their thing, or they would say that. However, they're naturally in tune and in flow with the energy that's happening in the shifts, and happy. So you don't necessarily need to be on this spiritual path for this to be happening, because you'll probably see this in people around you that are in flow. They're happy. They're people you want to be around. They laugh a lot. They don't hold on to pain. They don't hold on to resentment. They're able to kind of just take life in its stride. It's not that things don't happen to them. They don't just dwell on it. They seem positive. They're not overly positive. And just not that you don't ever see them upset or angry, but you see they don't stay stuck. They're moving. They're fluid. They're doing things. They're not holding to attachments, and they seem to be constantly evolving or doing new things. That's that kind of energy, or that collective energy. It's the flow of the water. It doesn't become stagnant. It's constantly flowing. There's when you see a waterfall, and this fluid energy is invigorating. If you ever stood by a waterfall, you can feel the water on your face. It can be a sense of things waking you up when you've been asleep. So emotions are associated with water. Flow of bodies of water in September, pushing things, not my ginger over, pushing things to be looked at, to be let go of. So flow, and again, both those things, we've got water and the sun with the fire horse, water and fire in our next card. We've got air and fire. So what's air and fire? It's gas. It's volcanic. Expand your creative energies. Harness your creativity, excitement and enthusiasm, communication and passion. But on a sense here, there's a sense of eruptive energies under the surface. The air, like the hot air of air, is also technology and communication, so associated with this for this month. Things blowing up a little bit around those topics, around the air, fire within that. So, but also see the flip side of that. We just spoke about what this card represents is expansion of that, creative energies within that. So AI, I feel, is very much connected to this. Harnessing of that and the excitement and enthusiasm around that, communicating of that passion and how it can be used. So come September. So you can just see the visual. So it helps you to connect to the higher frequencies, this card. Trust. Hang on. Yeah, I'm on the wrong one. It's the wrong page, sorry, hang on. Just a second, we want air. That's air and water. I want air and fire. It expands your creative energies. So harness your creative excitement and enthusiasm in communication your passions by shimmering fourth-dimensional blue and orange air and blue and orange with frequencies of crystal, because they are like complementary colours to one another. The love to express themselves and make their presence known. They often create turbulence as they swirl around us. So this is like your resistance possibly is what creates the turbulence to change. There's a resistance within the 3D world, for want of a better word, to call the dimensional reality consciousness of some on the planet, needing a little bit of churning up for things to shift. Now we're down to those heavier levels where we are, that's what's happening. But it's love is what's being expressed for this to happen. So often creates this turbulence, and they swirl around us. The air mixes with the fire to ignite an explosion of creative enthusiasm and aliveness. A sense of gratitude for being alive. Though these dragons mark us, they make us feel happy, excited, and sometimes a little unsettled or even overwhelmed by our feelings come September. So it might be a little bit overwhelming, all these shifts, but it is a happy change overall, especially at a collective level. And at the same time, the element of the fire transmutes lower energies and clears the path of our destiny. So it will remove obstacles come September. You might necessarily be removed in the way that you might want them to, but they are moved in the highest good of all of humanity. While the air element enables us to communicate our passions at soul level. What will spark from this up-leveling, shall I say, is communication. Communication on deeper levels, on soul levels with each other, on a human, on a collective nature, but also on a very real, down-to-earth, everyday level of what's happening in your own life and your life and my life. So choosing the cards, this card for this month, it indicates this is a time to harness our gifts, our talents, which we've been doing for the last 6 months, again continuing to do in the highest good and that of the world. So utilising what you've learned for the benefit of others. You have something in your soul that's bringing forth. So your guidance is to decide what fires you, your enthusiasm, then trust your inner wisdom and talk about it. Well, this is what we talk about all the time, about talking to that higher aspect of you, regardless of whether you call it God, source, universe, the galactic alliance, or the what's the other one called? I think it's the Galactic Alliance, or the Guardian Alliance, another name. Aspects of the highest future self, our multidimensional self, whatever it is, having that conversation, having that connection, communication, allowing yourself to connect to that which is the part of you that's more than, that's in the highest good of all. Taking a chance and stepping onto your true path, happiness and creativity. And remember, excitement and passion are magnificent qualities as well, and they will draw the right people and situations to you. When you're in that and you're tuning that, ding, that's your frequency, that's what you're putting out, this is what I love, blah, 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 blah. That's what you're putting out, that's what's going to come back, manifesting, magnifying. The card also suggests that circumstances may present themselves to you in which you will be required to make a rapid decision using your intuition and discernment rather than logic. So this is beyond logic, and you've got to choose, you've got to act from the heart, not from head. So you've got to have the crown connected to the heart, which we've been practicing for the last months, so that you are able to do this without that, oh God, have I done the wrong thing? Feel into it. Choose with the heart and the whole body. Your body will know. Your body tells you if something's not right. Listen to it. So using your intuition and discernment and logic. The air and fire dragon, who or essence of energy, who has come to you or to us in September, is telling us to trust ourselves. You have all you need, we do, to make the right choices. With the air and the fire dragon beside us, success is ensured in September for humanity as a whole. So for this little, just a little quick meditation to finish for September. So as I said, this is a new start, new term. Think of that fire and energy. Feel that blue. So closing your eyes and breathing in, breathing out. As you breathe out, as you speak with this beautiful blue turquoisey energy, which is associated with our throat chakra. So inhale, exhale. So when you breathe out, when you speak with that. And then feel at the lower Tien, our cauldron, the fire stoking. And I've got, as I said, the fire on the screen of the fireplace. So feel like you've got this fireplace there, and actually feel like the fireplace in this center, the carbon beings of humanity, the carbon essence that is us, is burning away with the light. And in its place, there's such high temperatures, it's creating this diamond, or what we call the crystalline Christid being of consciousness that we are becoming, from carbon to crystal. And this is more about the crystals in the brain, the tiny bits of how they can see the light, as what I call the goblet effect, the bridge of the hippocampus at the back of the brain, how we are able to then balance the right and left brain hemispheres on a better access these higher states of consciousness, higher states of communication and being. So just by visualizing this fire in our belly, the air as we speak, as we communicate, the frequency, the vibration, which I'm going to tone with you in a second, see that coming with the colours of blue as we do in this moment. So just a little alignment for September, for whenever you're watching this. So breathing in, seeing that future self that you are in this present moment whenever you're viewing, or whether it's September or even 10 years from when you're viewing this, speaking from the blue light of truth, creative being into reality. Able to speak with truth, with love, with light. And feel or listen even to the background that I have playing, the crackling fireplace. Give yourself an image of a roaring fire, of sitting around the fire with others, men, women, children, coming together, feeling that primal carbon being of the mammal of coming together, still present. This time though, see the blue in the fire. You know, when it burns so bright, you see the colour of the blues, the greens, the yellows, the white. See crystals forming from the carbon, like hot, molten, cooling. And as it cools, you see the crystals that are left in the ground, in the minerals. The same in the brain. The heat that's in the brain cooling with the air. The light, a cold, cool of the brain cells, cooling that down, allowing the brain matter expansion to happen, to see clearly, to communicate through heart, through our passion, our joys, and allowing this to seep through ourselves and our whole being as we feel the resonance of our joy to lift us, to inspire us to do what's right. And allow this to be like a 5-minute daily meditation that you do perhaps in September, to allow you to do that every day, to start every day that way, with that enthusiasm, that movement, moving through your life with flow, allowing you to glow with that fire, to see with that crystalline structure, and to speak the blue crystal communication of higher awareness. And so it is and shall be, as we remember, for all in the highest good. Seeing this for you, for everyone around you. Thank you, and thank you for your time. Love and blessings for your day. And I will see you for September, or October. It's a reading, which I will be recording shortly. Thank you.